What's going on, guys? BreakingKayfabeTV back again with another video, and it's me, Random WWE 1043, here with J-Man1998, and this will be a first ever video, I think, or at least for me, and we're doing a pay-per-view DVD review, and it is going to be on Vengeance 2006, and I guess this is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna name the match and then ask Jamin for his thoughts, and then I'll give my thoughts, and we'll do that for every match. Then at the end we'll give our overall thoughts on Vengeance 2006, and yeah, let's get to it. Opening Vengeance 2006, we have Kurt Angle versus Randy Orton. Pretty fun opener. What are your thoughts on this match, Jamin?
Just another quick thing, and this isn't just because the Vengeance, we just was randomly picking a DVD to watch last night, and we just happened to pick Vengeance because I haven't watched it yet, and I don't know if Random WWE 1043 has yet, but it was my first time watching it. We was going to pick like something that a lot of people would watch, but we decided to review and watch something that I don't really hear too many people talking about this show. But the opener was a good match. Chris Paul, but Kurt Angle and Randy Orton. I don't even remember. I think it was Randy Orton who won. I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But two great starts. But this was sort of the downfall of Kurt Angle. This was his right before he went to TNA or whatever. And this was when Randy Orton was still good, but he wasn't as good as he is now. And just imagine what it would have been if it was Randy Orton now versus Kurt Angle from 2000. That would have just been awesome. But yeah, pretty good. I'm gonna give that match a 7.5 out of 10.
Alright, Kurt Angle versus Randy Orton I thought was a pretty fun opener, good to sit through. It wasn't great like everyone was expecting it to be or wanted it to be, but it was still good. Randy Orton was good at that time, and Kurt Angle, of course, we all know what he's about, and Kurt Angle was just destroying Randy Orton with the German suplexes. I enjoyed that spot. It was like he delivered like 5, 6 in a row, but Randy Orton won the match after hitting Kurt Angle in the exposed turnbuckle and following it up by RKO, and then I guess that kind of wrote off Kurt Angle from WWE, and yeah, Randy Orton won the match, and yeah, pretty fun opener. And then we go on to Eugene versus Umaga. Pretty silly match, but yeah, what are your thoughts on this, Jamin?
That was funny that at the beginning that Eugene was just spinning his arms around, and then a wrestler, like an old legend, would come out, and then another one would come out, and another one would come out, and it was like, how many legends is this gonna come out? It was like Doink, Kamala, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And you think Kamala that's not the real Kamala, but it is. That's not the real Doink, but that's the real Kamala.
Kamala lost his foot.
It was probably after the show. But, yeah, it wasn't that good of a match. Eugene, he seems like a good wrestler, but he never really showed it in WWE because they had this stupid gimmick on him. But he trains people in OVW now. And Umaga, rest in peace, Umaga. And yeah, it wasn't really that good. Umaga just pretty much killed Eugene. And that's pretty much it. And then after that, the legends wanted to fight. And then Armando was telling him to just stop or whatever, just to get out. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the match. Overall, I'm going to give that a 5 out of 10.
Alright, this was a pretty silly match, just for comedic purposes, of course. Umaga just destroyed Eugene, and then Doink and the other one, Hacksaw, came in, and then he gave him a Samoan spike too, and then Kamala tried to fight him, and that's when Armando Alejandro Estrada called him off, and then, yeah, Umaga just went to the back. So, yeah, Umaga won that match, whatever. Didn't care for it. Then we go on to the 2 out of 3 falls Ric Flair versus Mick Foley match. Your thoughts on this, Jamin?
At the beginning of the match, it was back and forth, straight up wrestling from Mick Foley, surprisingly. No, I know Ric Flair is known for that, but like Mick Foley doesn't really do a lot of the chain wrestling stuff. But yeah, he was going back and forth with Ric Flair, one of like the best wrestlers of all time, and in this match, it was stupid because, like, one fall, I think Ric Flair won or something like that. Who got the first fall? I can't remember.
Yeah, Ric Flair did. And then he got...
And then, he, like grabbed Mick Foley's nuts or whatever, and the ref didn't disqualify him. And then, later on in the match, Mick Foley, like, hit him with a chair, or a steel can or something like that, and he got disqualified. And that didn't make much sense, because I thought that was, like, the same thing. And the ref saw him grab Mick Foley's nuts, and I was surprised he didn't get disqualified for that or whatever, but it didn't make much sense, but it was a good match. I'm gonna give that one a 7.5 out of 10.
Alright, my thoughts on the match. It was a pretty good match to watch. It was enjoyable. Like you said, it was like straight up wrestling in the beginning, which was pretty cool to see. But it really didn't make much sense because three things, like, first of all, Ric Flair grabbed Mick Foley's grapefruits twice, and the referee didn't disqualify him. And then and later on he got DQ'd, and if DQ is on, that means countouts are on too, cause these guys brawled like for 2 minutes and the referee didn't count him out, so that made no sense. But Ric Flair won by DQ, because he won the first fall with a roll up and second fall after Mick Foley nailed him with the chair. And then Flair, I think we forgot this, but Flair bled like crazy with the barbed wire afterwards.
Yeah,
it was just covered
barbed wire bat. Yeah, Mick Foley got up the barbed wire bat, and Ric Flair, his hair went from white blonde to red.
Yeah, it's crazy. Flair takes too many. He's gonna be lightheaded before he dies or something. I don't know. But next, we had the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. What a fun match this was. It was Shelton Benjamin versus Johnny Nitro versus Carlito. What were your thoughts on this match, Jamin?
It was a really good match. Except one part didn't make sense. It was like three heels facing each other, but it was still okay with that. That didn't really bother me, even though it didn't make much sense. But it was an awesome match, back and forth, lots of top rope flying and all that stuff. And these guys got really good agility, and they got pretty good mat skills, wrestling chain skills, whatever. Technical wrestling skills, and they can jump around and do crazy stuff too. And Johnny Nitro ended up getting the win and winning the Intercontinental title. And then I think not too long after that, Jeff Hardy debuted and had the feud with Edge, and then after that he fought Johnny Nitro and got the belt from him. But yeah, it doesn't really have to do with vengeance, but yeah, that's my thoughts. It was awesome. I'm gonna give that 10 out of 10. That was just an awesome match. And it was on the history of the Intercontinental title match, or DVD. And you should definitely at least try to get that DVD or Vengeance and watch this match. Or watch it on YouTube or something. It was really good.
Yeah, this match was awesome. First, heading into this match, I thought WWE was going to waste these three amazing talents, but at the end, I was satisfied and really happy because this match was awesome. Like, right off the bat, they're, like, doing insane spots, crazy shit. They're even doing some TNA shit with those triple flip. That was crazy. The crowd was appreciative of the match, and everything was going great, and this was probably match of the night, to be honest, and got a lot of time, and I wish it got more time. They could have done a whole lot more, but of course, Johnny Nitro took advantage of Carlito's backstabber to Shelton Benjamin, and Johnny Nitro became our new Intercontinental Champion by winning the championship, of course. And before I move on to the next match, I know we're not covering backstage stuff, but I think this one we have to because it was pretty hot. Because before Carlito went out, it was pretty funny he was getting interviewed by Maria, and then Tori Wilson came out and said, "Would you like to hold my puppies while I do the photo shoot?" And he actually gave him puppies.
He was like reaching for them, and she was like, "No, these puppies."
But yeah, anytime Tori Wilson and Maria are on TV,
then they started
pay attention.
Oil or something on there. And then Carlito was like, "Oh no, that's my music." And then he put the dogs down. And then he kept turning around when he was coming out.
Because he was mad.
But he was like, "At least I'm gonna win the Intercontinental belt."
Yeah, but that was funny and great match. And then we go on to the WWE Championship match, Rob Van Dam versus Edge. Pretty good match. Your thoughts, Jamin?
God, that shirt that Lita was wearing was just crazy. It was like a shirt that had a cover, but everything was hanging out almost. And but it was a good match. Edge and RVD are two of my favorites. And went back and forth, but Edge did not get the win. I don't really remember what the finish was. I have a hard time remembering the finish. But I know RVD won. But it was a good match. I'm gonna give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Alright, my thoughts on the match. I really, really didn't remember anything about the match, but you kind of jogged my memory. It was a pretty good match. These guys were flipping each other around. Edge was showing some high-flying skills, surprisingly. The chair came into the match because I think Lita was holding the chair for Edge to smash his head through it, but RVD moved out the way and then followed up with the frog splash and retained the WWE Championship. So, pretty good match there.
That's what happened with Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, surprisingly.
RVD was in the match, and Ricardo got Del Rio hit with the chair. Dang.
Yeah, RVD in chairs.
I remember the when he was doing the spin kick off the top or the apron to the entrance or the mat or nothing, the freaking rail. And he almost kicked some dude as a kid in the face, and he didn't even. He hit the rail or whatever because Edge moved out the way.
Yeah, he was doing a spinning, landing his leg on his back, but that was crazy. Then we had this Kane versus Imposter Kane match. Pretty dull. Your thoughts on this, Jamin?
Well, I was getting sleepy, but this match put me to sleep after. This was when, we both went to sleep. It was getting late or whatever, and this match was crappy anyways. But the only reason this thing was somewhat good is because there's somewhat history to it, like the Imposter Kane versus Kane. It wasn't just some random Dolph Ziggler versus Damian Sandow match. That makes no sense. It means nothing. That's gonna happen at Battlegrounds, but whatever. And the Imposter Kane ended up getting the win, and Imposter Kane is Festus, or Luke Gallows, or Doc in TNA, but now he's not even in TNA anymore. But overall, I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. It wasn't really that good. But, yeah, that's about it. Oh, why am I saying that? Well, that's my thought.
Yeah, my thoughts on this match, it only went 10 minutes, but it felt like it was long. I don't want to say it was boring. It was kind of interesting to see, or historic to see, but it was just dull. They weren't doing anything. It was slow pace, and I think Kane tried to do something, but he was countered with a chokeslam, and Imposter Kane won. So, nothing special there.
The Undertaker.
Yeah, mediocre match.
Undertaker versus Undertaker, SummerSlam 94 wasn't even a good match, but just history purposes made it good. Sort of like this, but it doesn't mean as much as Undertaker versus Undertaker. A lot more people
Yeah.
Undertaker versus Undertaker than Kane versus Kane.
Alright, so next up we had our co-main event. We had the Extreme Rules Lumberjack match. We had John Cena versus Sabu. Pretty fun match to watch. What are your thoughts, Jamin?
I'm surprised this wasn't the main event. Like, ended up not being the main event, even though WWE title match should have been the main event. They didn't even have a main event match for a title. It was just storyline purposes, but it was a good match. It was fun to see the Lumberjack match. I know Lumberjacks aren't really exciting except when it means something, like ECW versus Raw or whatever. Except like the Raw people were just a bunch of jobbers that weren't on the show. And the ECW people were like their stars or whatever, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer. But it was pretty cool to see them fight over. Like the first time John Cena got thrown over, he just started giving everyone a right hand and then slid back in the ring. But the next time he got thrown over, he just started got stomped on by everybody. And then it was like at the end of the match, it was just a big brawl outside the ring by the announcer tables with the Raw and ECW guys. And John Cena did like an attitude adjustment or a FU back then, and through a table. And I thought that was pretty crazy because Sabu only hit like the one part of the table. He didn't even hit the middle. He just like hit like the part closest to the ring, and it like looked like it hurt really bad. But Sabu is freaking crazy, and yeah, this was a good match because John Cena. I know this match was happening because like John Cena went over to the ECW place and they told him to go there or whatever, and he was saying that he would see Sabu or whatever. They was like saying that he was going to fight Sabu or something like that at the pay-per-view, and he ended up showing up or something like that. I don't even remember what I was going to say much about it, but yeah, that's what I remember from like the video package or whatever, like John Cena backstage around a bunch of ECW guys and stuff, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I thought this...
Overall, I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. I forgot to say that.
Alright, so John Cena versus Sabu, this was a pretty good match. It was really fun watching. I could have took it more serious if the Raw Lumberjacks were like bigger guys, or at least mid-carder or up, but these are a bunch of jobbers, cruiserweights, or whatever. No one cared about them.
It was like Steve Trevor Murdoch, Lance Cade.
Largest fan. But, yeah, this match, I thought this was, pretty good. Sabu carried Cena to a pretty good match. Sabu going crazy with the chairs, flipping all over the place. Of course, at the end, Cena did a FU outside on the table, and it looked like a pretty nasty bump, and the crowd was chanting, "You fucked up," cause that did look like Cena fucked up, cause that chair broke, or that table broke awkwardly, and it was pretty nasty watching. But afterwards, he brought him back in the ring, locked in the STFU, and made Sabu tap out. And Cena won the match, of course. But yeah, that was that. Pretty good match there. Then we go on to our main event, 5-on-2 handicap match, Spirit Squad versus DX. Pretty good match. Your thoughts, Jamin?
I thought it was pretty entertaining. Good. Not really the best of match, but it was funny seeing Dolph Ziggler in the main event of the pay-per-view. And now he's started at the bottom, and now he's back. He's on the pre-show. And he was on the main event of the pay-per-view when he was barely just in WWE. It's crazy. But this was when the Spirit Squad was the tag team champions. I'm pretty sure. I think they had the tag team championships. But it was stupid in parts because, like, one of them, I think even another one of them, put like a headband on and was trying to do like karate or something. But he ended up one of them got pedigreed and one got super kicked at the end, and DX got the win. But overall, I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. Wasn't the best because these guys were sort of new to the business or whatever. They weren't good. I mean, like, they weren't good pros or whatever, like, veteran dudes, like Shawn Michaels and Triple H, but it was still entertaining and funny to see one of them get their nose shoved at Triple H's butt, like what's on that picture. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on the pay-per-view match.
Yeah, I thought this was a entertaining match, like you said. It was very funny watching DX was playing around with Spear Squad. Really not worthy of main eventing, but still, it was a good way to close out Vengeance. Of course, one of the guys got their nose busted open really bad. DX took control like the first half of the match, and then the Spear Squad just destroyed Shawn Michaels the second half, and then Shawn Michaels got the hot tag, they destroyed house, or they cleaned house, and yeah, pedigree, sweet shit music, 1, 2, 3, DX wins their first pay-per-view match, or their first match together, and yeah, pretty fun way to close out with one of the Spirit Squads getting their ass shoved up Triple H's ass. So, that was funny. And overall, Vengeance, I gotta say, I used the word really fun and enjoyable and really good a lot, so that's exactly what it was. It wasn't a great pay-per-view, but it was really fun watching, and I think it's easy to sit through. So out of 10, I'm gonna give this overall Vengeance 2006 a 7.5 out of 10. I could see 8 if I'm being generous, but I think 7.5 is the way to go. So, yeah, pretty fun pay-per-view here. Your overall thoughts on Vengeance, Jamin?
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Good matches pretty much throughout the show, except for like the two not so good matches, Eugene and Umanga and Imposter Kane and Kane. But the rest of the stuff on the card was really good. And I'm surprised there wasn't a Divas match on the show. But the rest of the stuff on the show was really good and entertaining. And you should definitely try to check this out. And I know it's not that expensive. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the show overall.
So I guess that does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. I don't even know how many subscribers we are at, but please get us to 50. And
46.
Yeah, follow us all on Twitter. Subscribe to our individual channels. Subscribe to this channel. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Bob.